Right, hi year 11. So today what I've done is I've sent you effectively the kind of thing that we would be doing in class at the minute, which is ways to revise different topics, all but kind of all sort of linked together. So it's a way of looking at exam technique. We've spoken about that before, and kind of picking apart the questions. Notice that all of these questions are worded questions. There's no just sums involved here or equations or anything like that. So usually in class from now, what we'd be doing is a couple of these a day, and we do it in the same format that I'm going to do this now. So what I want you to do, please, can you pause the video and have a go? Give yourself 10 minutes or so. Have a go at as much of this as you possibly can on your own. Now you can either leave this up on the screen, if you can print it out as I've attached it, brilliant. But whatever you want to do, give yourself a little bit of time now. Please pause the video, stop the video, have a go at these questions, either in your home workbook or on the sheet if you've been able to print it out. And then what we'll do is when in a second, I'll go through them all, highlighting what you should have been paying attention to. Okay, so pause the video now, have a go, come back when you've done everything that you can do. Right, so you should have had a go all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to tell you what you should have noticed about them all, and then I've set you on Hegarty Maths work to do with this kind of question here. Okay, the highlighted little numbers, by the way, they are the clips on Hegarty Maths. So if I go through this one and you think to yourself, I haven't got a clue on it, actually I need to work on that one, it is clip 85. If you go and do some work on your own on there, don't think that you have to do everything on it. If you go to clip 85 and have a go at, say, 2 or 3 questions on there and you can do them, by all means, just leave that. So this one is clip 85, this one is clip 87, this one links to clip 97, and this one links to clip 94. Right, so all of these questions are to do with the fact that a car costs £12,000. So they're all starting with a car costing £12,000. So the first question up here, Helen pays a deposit of 30%. She pays the rest in 12 monthly instalments. How much does she pay each month? So there's a couple of things that we need to think about there. She pays a deposit of 30%, and then the rest in 12 monthly instalments. So how much is it each month? So the 30% deposit is what she's going to pay. So she has £12,000 to start off with. We need to take 30% off that as the deposit, and then whatever's left we need to share into those 12 monthly payments. So the problem that we've got with this question is we can divide things by 12, that's dead easy. The problem we've got is the 30%. We need to figure out what 30% of 12,000 is. Now, this one really would be a non-calculated question. Some of these are calculated questions, some of them aren't. So let's have a go at doing this without a calculator. How do we figure out 30% of something? Well, to figure out 30%, we need to figure out what 10% would be. And then we can just times that by 3. So 10% of 12,000 will be 1,200. So I'm going to do this by adding up 3 of them. You could just times it by 3 if you wanted to. So therefore 30% is going to be worth £3,600. Okay, so now I can do this. I can do the 12 grand, take away 3,600. So 12,000, take away 3,600. Okay, so 0, I can't do any of those. 0 take away 0, 0, 0 take away 0, 0, 0 take away 6 I can't do. So that 12 has to go to 11. That becomes 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. And then 11 take away 3 is 8. So I've got 8,400 left to pay. So that is what is shared between 12. Now, before you panic about this, 8,400 shared by 12 is a difficult sum to do. But 84 divided by 12 is a times table sum. So if I do 84 divided by 12, then I can just put the 2 zeros on there. 84 divided by 12 is 7. So my answer there is £700 a month. Okay. Right. This one. So the price of the car decreases by 13%. What is the new price? Now there's 2 different ways to do this. Obviously this time we have got 13%. That is a harder percentage to figure out than 30%. Still doable because our number that we start off with here has got a load of zeros on it, hasn't it? So figuring out like 10% and then 1% is quite easy. But there is a different way that we can do this as well. So I'm going to do this both ways. I'm going to do it the non-calculator way, and then I'm going to do it the calculator way. The non-calculator way would be, again, to figure out what 10% would be. Well, 10% is going to be the same thing. It's going to be 1,200. And then figure out what 1% would be. Well, 1% is going to be 120. So at the minute, if I add them together, I've got 11%. So I need another couple of 1%. And then I can add all that up, and that will give me 13%. So all those zeros added up is nothing. 0, add 2, add 2, add 2, 6. 2, add 1, add 1, add 1 is 5. And 1, add nothing is 1. So the 13% is worth 1,560. Okay? So if I want to decrease the price by that, I need to do 12,000 minus 1,560. 0 take away 0 is nothing. 0 take away 6 I can't do. So that 2 needs to turn into a 1, which would give me a 10 there. But then I need to borrow from that column. So that 10 turns into a 9, and that 0 turns into a 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 9 take away 5 is 4. 1 take away 1 is nothing. And 1 take away nothing is 1. So 1,044.0. Okay, £10,440. The other way of doing it on the calculator is to say, well, if I decrease something by 13%, what percent do I have left? If I start off with 100% and minus 13%, it means I've got 87% left. So I can just do 87% of 12,000. And remember, to do 87%, that means we will be timesing by 0.87. So I can just do 12,000 times 0.87. I'll just check it on the calculator. 12,000 times 0.87, 10,440. Okay. So obviously, if you've got a calculator, that is the quick way of doing it. Right. Right. This one, Stephen sells his car for 14,880. What is the percentage profit? Now you can see he's made a profit, can't you? Because if the car costs 12,000 and he sold it for 14,880, that is more than that. Okay. Now the way that we do something like this, if it says what is his percentage, something or other, okay, what is the percentage? Effectively, what is the percentage change? You always use this little formula. It's very, very easy. You'll be doing it on a calculator. You do the change over the original, and you times that by 100. So if we've gone from 12,000 up to 14,880, the change is 2,880, isn't it? The original, what he bought it for, was that, 12,000. And then I'm going to times that by 100, and then I just put that into my calculator. 2,880 over 12,000 times, oops. Let me spot what I did wrong there. Make sure you press right there. So you put the times next to the fraction, not on the bottom of the fraction, times 100. And we get an answer there, 24% profit. Okay. Right, and the last one, the value of the card increases 7% each year. How much is it worth after 5 years? Now, it should really say here, it should say the word compound interest. Okay, it should really tell you that. But it is a compound interest question. And remember, the way that we do this is we're going to do the original times by a multiplier with the power of how many years. Okay, so the original number times by a multiplier to increase it by 7% with a power of however many years. So we're going to be doing 12,000 times a number there with a power of 5. Now the number there is related to this. If I increase something by 7%, it means that I'll end up with 107% of the original. And I want that as a decimal. Now that becomes 1.07 as a decimal. So all I'm going to do in my calculator is do 12,000 times 1.07 to the power 5. Put that onto my calculator. 12,000 times 1.07 to the power, and that's that little button there, 5, and that gives me an answer of 16,830.62. Okay, so that's all that done. That's what you should have been paying attention to. If you want to practice any of these, you can do. That's clip 85, that's clip 87, that's clip 97, and this is clip 94. And now what I'm going to ask you to do now, if you want to go and do any of the other ones, I've set you this one, but if you want to go and do any of the other ones, just stop the video and go and have a go at those. What I'm going to do now is go through a couple of the questions that you'll see on that clip 94. Okay, so when you go and do the Hegarty maths that I've set you for today, they'll look like this. Okay, so Dan invests, they're all about investing, compound interest questions. Dan invests 9,200 into his bank account. He receives 4% per year compound interest. How much will he have after 2 years? So we have a start number, we have our percentage compound interest, and we have our years. Okay, and we want to do this to the nearest penny where we can. So, given what we just done on there, start times your multiplier to the power of the years. Let's apply that to this. Start value here is 9,200. The multiplier here, 4% increasing, will give you 104%, which will be 1.04. So times that by 1.04. And 2 years, so we're just going to square that, and that will give me my answer. 1,200 times 1.04 squared. And that gives us an answer. Now, when you get something like that, press SD. Excuse me, £9,950.72p. Right, dead easy. So questions, I think 1 to 5 are like that. Dead easy. Just be careful putting in the nearest penny. Questions 6 up to 9 are a little bit trickier. You get something like this. It's exactly the same sort of formula. The only thing is this decimal just gets a couple of extra digits in it. So start value is there, percentage is there, and your years are there. And we want it again to the nearest penny. Okay. So our start value is £7,900. Our power is going to be 5. It's the power 5 up there. It's this that causes the problem. Students always kind of forget how to do this because the percentage has a decimal in it itself. They just get a little bit confused. If we think about 2.3%, if it was just 2%, it'd be 1.02, wouldn't it? So because it's 2.3%, you can't have another decimal point in, so that decimal point within that effectively disappears. So you just get 1.023. You think about it, what you want there is 102.3%. So this thing just ends up going there, 1.023. And then again, just put that into your calculator. 7,900 times 1.023 to the power 5. And that gives us that answer there. So 8,851 pound. And then this time, you see, nearest penny would be there, wouldn't it, after the 6? And because a 3 comes after the 6, the 3 doesn't mean we round up, it just stays as it is. So just 0.26. Okay. So can you have a go then, please, at these ones? And if you needed to, have a go at any of the other ones. Any issues, please get in touch.